And oddly enough, it was Cambridge that first set me off writing. And in this very room where I now am, there was at one time my tutor, a man called Wed, and it was he who suggested to me I might write. He did it in the most informal way. He said in a sort of drawling voice, "I really don't see why you shouldn't write." And I, being very diffident, was delighted with this remark. And I thought, well, after all, why shouldn't I write? And I did. And it is really owing to Wed and to that start at Cambridge that I've written. I might have started for some other reason. Generally speaking, I haven't written as much as I'd like to. I think that's my one regret. And of course I would have been glad to write more novels after The Passage of India. For one thing, it sold so well, and I write for two reasons, partly to make money, and partly to win the respect of people whom I respect. And more novels would have certainly made me better known. And somehow I dried up after The Passage. I wanted to write, but didn't want to write novels. And that's really too long a story. But I think one of the reasons why I stopped writing novels is that the social aspect of the world changed so very much. I'd been accustomed to write about the old, vanished world with its homes and its family life and its comparative peace. All that went. And though I can think about it, I cannot put it into fiction form. I expect there are other reasons why I dried up. But I haven't dried up in other ways. I've written a biography, for instance, of my great aunt, whose picture appears over that mantelpiece. And incidentally, I have enjoyed writing. I've never found it a trial or an ordeal of suffering, as some writers do. I'd better add that I'm quite sure I'm not a great novelist, because I've only got down onto paper really three types of people. The person I think I am, the people who irritate me, and the people I'd like to be. When you get to the really great people, like Tolstoy, you find they can get hold of all types. But most novelists, including myself, are much more constricted in their imaginations and their sympathies. We don't get down very much. I don't think it's the novel I like best. I like best one that's not very popular, perhaps, called The Longest Journey. I think there I got nearer to putting down what I'd got inside me and wanted to say. And as for the other, I see how its end is all right, but I sometimes get a little bored with it. There seems too many social nuances there. I suppose such opinions and beliefs as I have come out incidentally in my books. I remember Desmond McCarthy saying, never preach. If you have a sermon inside you, it's quite certain to come out incidentally and will be much more effective. And anyone who's cared to read my books will see what a high value I attach to personal relationships and to tolerance. And I may add to pleasure. Pleasure one's not supposed to talk about in public, however much one enjoys it privately. But if I have had any influence, I should be very glad that it had induced people to enjoy this wonderful world into which we're born, and of course to help others to enjoy it too.